Damn, Angel. Damn. Jag the game at the free throw line, man. It's a lot of controversy going on in Chicago. The Sky fans are blaming Tyler Marsh for Angel Reese losing the game at the free throw line and ruining the Chicago Sky's chances of really cutting the lead down to 1 and giving themselves a chance to keep playing and try to get an upset in Phoenix. Angel played a hell of a game, 15 points, 20 rebounds. We cannot poo-poo that.
Angel Reese was just handed a title no athlete ever wants, after a shocking vote allegedly named her the worst player on her own team. This wasn't just a critique, it was a verdict delivered from inside the Chicago Sky, and it exposes a secret war that's been raging far from the cameras. While fans are busy pointing fingers at the coach and fabricating viewership numbers, the real story is much darker. It's a tale of jealousy, locker room tension, and a player who might be losing the battle she started. Because what's happening to Angel Reese isn't just about a few bad games, it's about a carefully constructed image that is beginning to completely unravel.
Angel Reese is at the bottom of the pick and roll shot attempts list, and it kind of makes sense if you really watch. So on her first game back from injury, somebody interviewed her and asked her, what do you think about Uzan joining the team? How's that change things? And she said, hopefully I'll get more pick and roll touches. Unfortunately, that just hasn't happened. And it's more so, in my opinion, that she's just not getting that play called for her. It's not something that the team is running. Pick and rolls for Angel is not happening. So there is a list. My guy Trendy put it out. I know a lot of people, Trendy is controversial, but Trendy does, you look at his stats, when he posts stats, they'll be right. And so he put out a list of the top pick and roll shot attempts for front court players. And Angel wasn't even anywhere.
To understand how we got here, we have to rewind the clock to the moment that started it all, the 2023 NCAA Championship. With the world watching, Angel Reese made the now infamous "you can't see me" gesture at Caitlin Clark. In that instant, a narrative was born. Reese wasn't just a champion, she was the villain. Clark wasn't just a runner-up, she was the wronged hero. Reese embraced the role, calling herself the Bayou Barbie and leaning into the trash talk. It made her a star, but it also painted a massive target on her back. She didn't just win a game, she declared a war of perception, never realizing it was a war she was destined to lose.
Choke the game away at the free throw line, and the fans are blaming Tyler Marsh. We got all the Sky fans crashing out. They crashing out blaming the coach because Angel Reese missed a free throw at the end of a game. Let's take a look at what's going on. We have Chicago Sky fans blaming Tyler Marsh.
When both players entered the WNBA, that narrative followed them like a shadow. Caitlin Clark received a hero's welcome, treated as the savior of the league before she ever played a professional game. Angel Reese, on the other hand, was met with suspicion and scrutiny. Every move she made was analyzed, every mistake magnified. The league and the media had chosen their protagonist, and Reese was cast as the antagonist. She was expected to not only perform but to do it perfectly, all while navigating the hostility that came with being Caitlin Clark's designated rival. The pressure was immense, and it was clear from day one that she was playing a different, much harder game.
Angel Reese has made her triumphant return from a back injury. That's right, a back injury. Yeah, absolutely, that she had suffered at some point. That we don't exactly know at what point she suffered said back injury. Well, it didn't take long for the Chicago Sky as an organization to get back to what it is they do best, which is the diabolical celebration of Angel Reese's double-doubles in lawsuits.
On the surface, her stats look impressive. Reese quickly became known as a double-double machine, snatching rebounds at a historic rate for a rookie. Her fans parade these numbers as undeniable proof of her dominance. But look a little closer, and the stats tell a much different story. Her crunch-time performances have turned potential wins into blooper reels. What should be a clutch moment becomes a collapse, the kind that makes you wonder if you're watching a parody skit instead of a professional game. The numbers don't show the terrible shooting efficiency, the turnovers in critical moments, or the plays where the offense grinds to a halt when the ball is in her hands. She fills the box score, but her team often struggles to win. It's the ultimate deception, a player who looks like a star on paper but fails the eye test when the game is on the line.
Angel only leading Natasha is wild. So let's look at the list. And I know some people might say, well, Angel was injured for a good portion of the season. So was some people on this list. Who was injured? Fee missed 3 weeks, almost a month time. Miller was gone playing in Eurobasket. Shakira missed a lot of time. Dominique does not play that much. I mean, she's playing more now, but during the beginning of the season, who else is on this list that missed some time? E. Will was on this list. That is shocking. So we get pick and rolls for E. Will, and we get pick and rolls for Camilla, but Angel is, again, second to worst.
That simmering tension finally exploded during a game against Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever. Reese's teammate, Kennedy Carter, delivered a blatant cheap shot on Clark, blindsiding her with a hip check away from the ball. As the sports world erupted in outrage, cameras caught Angel Reese leaping off the bench, clapping and cheering for the foul. In that moment, she confirmed every negative perception about her. She wasn't just a competitor, she looked like a sore loser celebrating an unsportsmanlike act against her rival. It was a PR nightmare, and it was one she created herself.
Today I saw a statistic, this would have been prior to this loss, that there were something like 15 and 31 when she gets a double-double. You over 15 games under 500 when she gets a double-double. Y'all out here celebrating this? I'd be embarrassed as a mother bleeper. I'd be embarrassed as hell. And of course, Angel Reese last night, she was deep in her bag. Woo-wee! I mean, brought a backpack with her. Put it down, started reaching in it, and pulled out the whiffs. Let me tell you, yikes.
This moment revealed a much deeper, more toxic strategy at play. It wasn't just about one player's bad decision. It seemed to be the entire team's unofficial doctrine. The Chicago Sky, led by the energy of their star rookie, had seemingly decided that if they couldn't beat Caitlin Clark on the scoreboard, they would try to beat her up physically. This enforcer mentality backfired spectacularly. Instead of looking tough, the entire organization looked petty and unsportsmanlike. The blame wasn't just on Carter, it fell on Reese, who as the team's emotional leader appeared to sanction the behavior, turning her entire team into co-antagonists in a drama the league didn't want.
All right, man, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Showtime. Y'all already know what time it is. So, man, let's have a conversation, bro. Man, I want to say, what the hell is going on with the Chicago Sky? Something is off to me. I'm watching them from the jump. This team don't seem to be there mentally. Looks like players are mentally checked out. Now, shout out to Angel. I want to say this. Angel, for the most part of this game, she went out there and competed. Seemed like she was the only one that really showed up.
But the on-court drama was just a symptom of a much deeper problem. Soon, whispers began to leak from within the Chicago Sky organization. Rumors swirled that teammates were growing tired of Reese's inefficient play and the constant media circus that followed her. They were reportedly frustrated that her brand seemed to come before the team's success. This is what led to the devastating anonymous vote. While her fans see a superstar, some of her own teammates allegedly see a liability, a player whose hype doesn't match her contribution, and whose presence brings more drama than wins.
Chicago Sky just got defeated by a pretty boring game, too, okay? Even though Angel Reese went off, okay, like she usually does. You know, she got her double-double. She got 20 points, 10 rebounds, I believe. You know, with her stats, it is impressive. But again, it's like we are on a decline. This whole team, the entire Chicago Sky, as an organization, as a franchise, is on a great decline, okay? And it's controversy. Of course, there's always some controversy surrounding this damn team. And I may make some controversial takes on this, but I believe like a lot of people would like, you know, actually agree with what I got to say about Angel Reese being a point guard, because I'm tired of it. Like it's.
Of course, to her massive and loyal fan base, none of this is her fault. When Angel Reese has a bad game, they don't look at her performance. They look for a scapegoat. Their number one target has been head coach Teresa Weatherspoon. According to Sky Twitter, every loss is the result of bad rotations, poor play calling, or the coach's failure to build the entire offense around Reese's every whim. It's a bizarre reality where a 22-year-old rookie is portrayed as a flawless victim, and a Hall of Fame player turned coach is painted as incompetent. It's a defense mechanism designed to protect their star from any form of accountability.
It's so crazy to me because I don't know if I ever seen this before. It just seemed like, even though Tanner Morris the coach, it's like they just out there playing. And it don't even matter what I can tell they probably don't even listen to him. They don't care what he said. They don't. They just go on with the flow. That's what it seems like. Like players just not even locked in on a game plan or a specific role or anything. Just players just playing. How many times I'm gonna see Angel Camilla beats everybody down the floor and they don't get the ball though?
When the coach isn't a convenient enough target, the blame carousel spins toward the officials. A massive conspiracy theory has taken hold among her supporters. The referees are biased against Angel Reese. Suddenly, every whistle is a personal attack, and every missed call is part of a grand scheme to sabotage her and prop up Caitlin Clark. Fans will dissect clips of missed layups and claim she was fouled, conveniently ignoring the fact that she simply failed to finish the play. Nothing screams rational sports debate like inventing an entire referee conspiracy to explain why your star can't handle the pressure. It's never her fault. It's always a rigged game.
So a lot of people are starting to notice, and honestly, I didn't until I got sent basically not a thread, but like a couple of videos of this happening, and I genuinely think that this could be, this could be not her taking things into her own hands, but this very much could be people in her ear being like, you got to get back to the way she used to be, because Caitlin Clark slimmed down a lot.
This narrative is born and amplified in the social media echo chamber. On platforms like X, formerly known as Twitter, a protective bubble has been constructed around Reese. Inside this bubble, she is a generational talent, a victim of a biased system, and a bigger star than the numbers suggest. Any evidence to the contrary is dismissed as hate. This online army props up her image with selective stats and endless whataboutisms, creating a world where she can do no wrong. But the scoreboard doesn't count Twitter threads, and the digital hype doesn't translate to real-world wins.
I'm going to give her some credit first. I'm going to give her some credit. Y'all be getting sensitive. Y'all be getting super sensitive. Angel Reese, you did your thing versus the New York Liberty. Y'all got a win, but we have to keep it real. For the second straight season, Angel Reese has led the Chicago Sky to elimination with a bunch of basketball games left. Season was over before it got started.
This is where the great viewership lie comes into play. Fans began circulating charts and stats, claiming Angel Reese's games were breaking records, suggesting she was just as big of a draw as Caitlin Clark. The problem? The numbers were based on creative accounting, comparing a niche cable broadcast to a YouTube stream, or celebrating being the most watched game on that network for a Tuesday. It was a desperate attempt to create a reality that simply wasn't true. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark was genuinely shattering viewership records on major networks, forcing teams to move games to bigger arenas just to meet ticket demand. One star's impact is real, while the other's is propped up by spin.
This is for my W people, the WNBA, the people who watch WNBA. I'm sitting here watching the Fever Chicago game, and I'm thinking to myself, y'all fired Teaspoon for this? Y'all thought y'all was going to do better with him? Y'all should have just kept Spoon. At least we would have seen some growth. And no disrespect, but Nurse got to go. I'm just saying, she got to go. I digress. I'm wishing Angel well. I want her to get better so she can come back and be that Chicago Barbie. Anywho, if you are interested in the W, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I would love to hear your thoughts. I've been watching. I've been trying to support. I am a Chicago fan because of Angel and Camilla. That's why I follow them. Those are my girls. I followed them since they came out of college.
This brings us to the central paradox of the Angel Reese narrative. Her supporters paint her as a dominant, tough-as-nails competitor who isn't afraid of anyone. She's the villain, the powerhouse, the one who talks the talk. Yet, at the same time, they treat her as if she is incredibly fragile, a delicate figure who must be shielded from any form of criticism. She's dominant, but also a victim. She's a trash talker, but can't handle any negative feedback. The contradictions are enough to give you whiplash, and they ultimately make her look weaker, not stronger.
Like, if you look at Caitlin Clark's legs, like, they are as slim as they have been since her rookie year. Which, unpopular opinion, I'm happy about, because, rookie Caitlin Clark was just going meep meep and just running by people. But, like, she's there doing workouts with the team. She's doing shooting workouts. Look, she's coming back, but she does not look nearly as bulky. And I think a lot of people have been pointing out a lot of things where they're like side by side when she's been like sitting down. It's really noticeable with her arms. It seems like she's lost quite a decent chunk of the bulk that she put on in the off season.
The divide between them isn't just in the ratings, it's in their bank accounts. Follow the money and the story becomes crystal clear. Caitlin Clark is signing historic, multi-million-dollar deals with giants like Nike, Gatorade, and Wilson. She is being positioned as the face of women's sports for the next decade. Angel Reese, meanwhile, signed with Reebok, a brand desperately trying to regain relevance. Her endorsement portfolio is impressive, but it exists on a completely different tier. The market has spoken, and it has decided that Clark is the generational cash cow, while Reese is the edgy, niche alternative. This growing gap has fueled another fan theory that the entire sports media is engaged in a conspiracy to tear Angel Reese down. They claim that commentators like Stephen A. Smith are unfairly critical of her while protecting Caitlin Clark. Every negative analysis is seen not as legitimate commentary but as biased hate. They believe there's an agenda to sabotage her career to ensure Clark remains the league's golden girl. They ignore the fact that the criticism is almost always tied to her actions, her inefficient play, her on-court antics, and her public statements. But behind the tough Bayou Barbie persona, the constant attacks and relentless pressure began to take their toll. In one post-game press conference, the mask finally slipped. With her voice cracking, Reese spoke about the hate she's received since that championship game, talking about how she hasn't been at peace. It was a rare moment of raw vulnerability that revealed the human being underneath the villain caricature. For a brief moment, the world saw a young woman struggling with a level of fame and infamy that she may have never been prepared for. It's impossible not to wonder about the path not taken. What if after that championship game, Angel Reese had chosen a different route? What if she had focused solely on her game, embracing sportsmanship while maintaining her competitive fire? She could have been seen as a fierce but respected champion, a worthy rival to Clark without the villainous baggage. Instead, she chose a path of antagonism, and it has defined her professional career far more than her talent has. She may have gained short-term fame, but she sacrificed long-term respect. In the end, Angel Reese finds herself a prisoner of a game she helped create. She embraced the role of the villain, but seems shocked by the consequences. Her fans build a fortress of excuses around her, but that fortress may be preventing her from growing as a player. She is undeniably talented, a force on the boards with undeniable charisma. But until she can produce when it matters most, she will continue to be defined by her rivalry with Caitlin Clark. The question is no longer if she can win games, but if she can win the war for her own story before it's too late.